Hello, I'd like to do a brief video about objects in Python. Objects are just like variables in collections, the collections being the lists and tuples and dictionaries that we've been talking about. Um, they hold data that your program uses to perform some task. Unlike the variables, it holds different data types. In the case of an object, it holds variables and functions. The variables are known as attributes of the object. The functions are known as methods of the object. Now we're familiar with variables and methods. For example, if I define a variable name and assign the value Johnson to it, this being the assignment character, I can then turn around and perform a method dot lower. Note the dot lower, the dot notation, and it will change all of the characters of Johnson to lowercase. When we want to create an object, we use a blueprint known as a class. The class is like the container for the attributes and methods of an object. For example, when I want to create a class, I use the class keyword, all lowercase. And the object that I'm going to create is a dog. Now, it doesn't have any attributes or methods currently, so I'm just going to pass here and talk about how to instantiate or create a dog using this class. I can create a dog by using a variable assignment. I'm going to call it my dog equals dog, which he is a great dog. Okay? This doesn't assign any attributes to your dog. What attributes do dogs have? Well, I'm going to say that my dog has a name. Dot name is the attribute, and I'm going to assign a string Luther. My dog, or my dog's breed is a bulldog. He's an old English bulldog, very old. My dog color is, and I'm going to combo this, brown and white. My dog is a big bulldog. His weight is 81, but he's losing weight, so we're going to call it 80 pounds. Give Luther a break. And my dog age equals 17. He's a very old dog. Now, having assigned the values to the attributes, I can now access those values just like we do with variables in a print statement. Let's use a printf statement, and I'm going to say my dog is called my dog dot name. His breed is my dog dot breed. His color is my dog dot color. And he's very old. He is a very old dog. And his age is my dog dot age years old. Okay. Now, the use of the dot notation is because now I have a dog. The instance of the dog is my dog. That's why it's called instantiation. What's this? This statement T instantiates the dog. It's like a variable assignment. Okay. And once it instantiates the dog, I can place attributes in like this. But as you noted, that is a lot of typing. There is an easier way, and I'm about to show you the use of methods inside the class. Inside the class, I can take all of this typing and place it in one line by using a special method. You define the methods just like you do a function, and inside of method you use functions, but the functions are known as methods. And this is a special method, underscore underscore init. Okay. And underscore underscore init will provide me, as all methods inside of a class, with one parameter. They must have the self parameter. Now, what is self? It is the current instance using the class. My dog uses the class. Your dog would use the class. Lisa's dog would use the class. So self is a parameter that's passed by that instance of dog that identifies which dog it is. Okay. And the parameter that is provided is a must. It is required. However, there are other parameters that are in our init that will allow us to initialize our attributes. Name, breed, color, weight, and age. These are going to be passed through these parameters into the initialization, and I'm going to initialize these attributes just as I've done here. Okay. So for now, in here, instead of my dog, it's all dogs. So self dot name is going to be equal to name. And self dot breed will be equal to breed. And self dot color will be equal to color. Self dot weight will be equal to weight. And finally, self dot age is going to be assigned the parameter age. And so how do I call this init? This init is a default for initialization. When I instantiate my dog using the dog, I provide parameters. These parameters are specified as all parameters inside the parentheses. And I'm just going to take Luther and put it in there. His breed is a bulldog. not bug dog, bulldog. His color is brown and white, and I could do it with doubles, but I'm going to stick to my singles. His weight is 80, not 90, 80 pounds, and his age is 17. Now, note, this is fantastic. This is the way that PyCharm works. It takes the parameters and names them for me. The values that are passed to this parameter, and that way you can see which parameters, the positioning of the parameters, so you don't mix them up. Okay, I can now do away with all of this initialization. I have replaced those lines. Of course, I've typed them up here. Okay, but I don't have to do it now for each dog that I instantiate. Okay, I can instantiate as many dogs as I want using this class. This class is a blueprint for the object dog. And by instantiating, I mean the creation of another dog. Okay, my dog equals dog. Your dog equals dog. They all have the same attributes. They have a name, they have a breed, they have a color, and they have a weight, and also age. Okay, the name of the variable of the assignment is the object. Okay, this is the current object. And now, as I recreate this line, and I will recreate it just by copying and pasting it. And instead of my dog, I'm going to use your dog. Okay, so I go through and change these. The only thing I'm going to change here is my dog to your dog. Okay. Now the instantiation, these variables again are these parameters positionally are assigned to self. Okay. In the case of my dog, self stands for my dog. In the case of your dog, self stands for your dog. And the values that are assigned come from the parameters, and they are unique to the object that is instantiated. And I'm going to run this, and hopefully it'll run. And we should see my dog is called Luther. And again, I said my dog, okay, is called Martin. I should change that to your dog and run it. And it makes more sense. My dog is called Luther. Your dog is called Martin. His breed is a bulldog. His breed is a pit bull. His color is black. Luther's color is brown and white. He is a very old dog. He's 6 years old. And I can change that to make more sense because 6 is not very old. So he is a very young dog. And rerun it. And we see the changes made. Now that we've assigned attributes to our dog, it is time to assign behaviors. Inside the class, we will define other methods for the behavior of our dog. Okay, how do dogs behave? Well, they speak. And as you see, we get the default parameter of self. Okay. Now, I really don't need, because this is not going to be a complex behavior. Sorry about that. This is not going to be a complex behavior. When dogs speak, what do? They bark. So I don't need parameters. All I need to do is make sure that self, whichever dog this behavior is called on, will bark. And now, both my dogs have a voice. They are able to speak. I can call this method. And note, it is a print, so I don't have to use a print. All I have to do is say my dog dot speak. It is a method, so it needs those open and close parentheses. Okay? And I'm going to comment out my attribute calls. And when I run it, I will get bark bark, which is a little simplistic. So let us add some more content to this. Print. Now I want to print a F. When my dog speaks, he says, and inside there I want to put my print. Close that quote. Okay. Now this is giving us a little more content. He says none. Well, now note, this is not a variable. It is actually, it is a print statement. It's a call to a function. In normal activity using functions, I can call a function inside of a print. However, with this, it has a print in it, and so it was confused. So now when I run it, when my dog speaks, he says bark, bark, bark. Here you'll see another method of a behavior dogs have. My dog likes to play. Okay. And so when this becomes the current dog, in this case I'm just going to say my dog, when my dog Luther plays, he likes to play with toys. We have, as a bulldog, he has vicious jaws, so he would, as a puppy, he would tear up shoes. So we had to go out and almost once a month buy him a new toy to chew on. So he has toys littered throughout the yard and the house, and when he wants to play, we say go get it, and he goes and finds a toy to play with. And once again, I'm going to comment out print statements. And I'm going to use a call to your dog dot play. Again, it's a method, so you need these parentheses, and we'll see that it will insert Martin where it says name. As I run this, hopefully it'll work. We get, when Martin plays, he likes to play with toys. Okay. This has been Mr. Ellis demonstrating, hang on. I almost forgot. There is another special method using the underscore syntax that says string, underscore string. What this is used for is to visualize the attributes inside of your class. I can format this in any way that I want. I just went ahead and formatted it as a list of the attributes that are in my class. And as you note, I don't have to use parameters because they have already been defined or passed into the object. And what happens is when you print your dog, or my dog for that matter, you get all the attributes and the initialized values. For example, I'm using my dog, and what I'm going to do is comment out this play, and I'm going to print my dog, and I'm going to print your dog. Okay. And as I run this, it should output all the attributes of both animals. Luther, pit bull, brown and white, weight is 45, age is 17. This has been Mr. Ellis giving you a lecture on objects in Python.